Webcam. Okay, we do have audio there. Okay, guys, how's it going? Yeah, I was just getting some stuff set up. I'm working on the rabbit we've been working on for a couple of days now. So just wanted to kind of show you what was up with that. And if the camera gets in the way, just let me know. But I do have the chat here if you guys want. I'm going to put hey, hey, so you guys can see, yep, it's working. And cool, I'm just going to continue on rigging this guy. That's what I've been doing for the last couple of days or so, is drawing him and rigging him. Hands obviously have not been updated or done yet, so it's just the basic figure. And I'm just going to go through here and actually do the rigging, since now we've got him all skeletonized. I don't believe I have literally anything attached here yet. So let's see. I think I'm just going to go close this head up. See if I can get away with doing the whole head as a bone layer. I mean, as a, yeah, a bind layer for the head bone. And that should be working for the head at the moment. The neck obviously hasn't been done. There we go. And now I'm going to have to go in here and separately bind stuff like the, well, the ears, the whiskers. Everything's pretty good there. I just have to do the eyes, I think, are on the outside. The jaw, all that stuff is there. But the ears now, ear left is here, ear right. I don't know why I don't have this grouped, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get away with grouping this. So we're going to go with ear right. There was a reason why I didn't do it. It probably had something to do with how they were going to be able to be masked or something. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to put my pivots back in place here for those if I don't already have them done. I think this one's going to come from back here now that I think about it. The ear tip should be there-ish. This should be there-ish. I'm going to go to the left and try to do the same thing here. The ear tip, that one's going to come from here, and the ear itself can come from down here. And that should be good there. I'm just going to kind of go through and do this. I don't have to probably announce it every single little step, right? So just get these done. It's my partial jaw. The chin, I'm just going to put my centers out here. Just so when, you know, we go back and move everything if we need to, it is all good and selectable the right way, which is the only way to be selectable and delectable and whatever I'm trying to say. So that is the eye right, so we'll pop that here. Highlight's good, pupil. I don't know why I hadn't done this before, but you know. And that should be good for that guy. Because what's good for the right eye is good for the left eye. That's what they say. We got the highlight. We need the pupil. I don't know why I'm not using my pen either. Where is my stylus? That is the Spanish way, right? The stylus. Actually, I don't know where it has gone. I did some recording for somebody today, and of course moved all my belongings. So now I'm like, uh-oh, where did I put it? Have you seen my? Oh, I remember what I did with it. I stuck it in the actual holder. Imagine that. I put it back where it goes. Anyway, so the shadow of the eye can go here. The eye white can go here. It's so much faster to do it this way. There we go. Let's center that eye white better here. Alright, the eye left. Okay, good. Let's close these back up. Really wish I could get my touch sensitivity going on this monitor, because man, what a pain that is. Real pain to not have it. Muzzle is pretty much this whole piece. Mouth here, there. The mouth. These guys. Those. Just got done watching an episode, I think it was episode 5 of Arcane, season 2, of course. I have seen season 1, and now good portion, about halfway through the next season. So this head, I'm going to put this right at pretty much the base that twists, just the same. The arm here, let's just check which arm. That's the right one. Let's see, we'll go open up that arm. These I think I already did all of. They look exactly like I did. So let's go ahead then and start binding some stuff. So the head I think I can pretty much leave alone for now. Let me do the neck, because it's the next thing down. Get the neck thing down. We're going to go into the light here, which is the main neck, and do the little layer rigging here on frame 0. We're going to grab the neck bone, and then I'm going to, there we go, with the bind points tool, I'm going to come in, oh man, I can't see, and I'm just going to draw around everything I need, bind those to that bone, grab the head bone. I've done this so many times, it is second nature, I can't tell you. This part I thought was the most tedious part in the world. This ain't nothing. Not anymore, it's not. It's like, but what points do you put where? Well, I could teach a class on this easily now. Easily. So let's see, our little hair sprigs. They're gonna just bond with that bone, the main neck bone, the whole thing. Bind. Let's go with the neck brown here. It's just going to bond with the whole thing as well. So looks great. Bind. I keep saying bond, but I mean bind. Okay, so that is our neck completely done now. Let's go ahead and move on down to the torso here, our body. Forgive the name of that top item there, crotch hair. And I'm just going to go with the body, the overall body. And that's the one that goes all the way out to the brown outline. We're going to start at the top here. I'm not going to get the neck pieces because I want those to bend with the neck. So we're going to grab all the points under those, all the way down to about midway. Bind those. I'm going to grab the neck bone now, and we are going to bind these guys to the neck. And see, it just becomes this really quick thing after a while when you've done it for a while. And with that bone selected, we're going to grab our last bits here, bind those. Always make sure you double check to see that they have been bound. Look at that, I missed some. So I'm going to grab those as well. Just always check and make sure you got them all. Okay, so now that we need the brown, the next layer of the same two bones or so. So that brown is going to come on down. We're going to go with this bone and select all this for that bone and bind those, and then I'm going to go to the neck bone for that light hair layer. Make sure we get everything in there. You see me squinting. I need new glasses. And I also, is that a point? No. I also need to upgrade this monitor to the 4K version. I'm going to complain about that for like the rest of my life. So just be warned. Alright, with that bone selected now, we're going to come down and get the rest of these dudes and bind those. Keep getting that weird lag. I think it's only when I stream. I think that's what it is. No, this one is for a possible. I got a little cartoon series. It's not a series yet, but it's kind of like you call it a pilot episode of a group of animal kids, basically, that run around the neighborhood and they ride bikes and do all kinds of things like, you know, most of us used to do when I was younger before we had stuff like anything better than an Atari. You know, nobody had phones. It was a good time. Yeah, so this is personal work. All right, so then crotch hair. Let's get that. So we're going to grab that bone there. Don't say the word crotch hair and bone in the same sentence. That's just what I say. And we're going to go ahead and bind those guys there. That should be it for the body. So now let's go ahead down and do the arms. So this arm, which I didn't say which one it was, shame on me. We're going to go arm L just so it doesn't get confusing. And we're going to go to the arm upper. And it looks to me like this one's just going to be layer bound because it's all. Should I do it? Yeah, let's just do it. That one's going to be layer bound. This one can. Probably be layer bound. I'm just going to do it. Most of the time I don't. I'll point bind it and then I get the end points, you know, so they warp. But I'm not really needing to do that with this. It's a skinny enough limb that I'm not horribly worried about it. Okay, so hands. These are not going to be the final hands, just so you know. And I am. Let's just layer bind those for now. Normally, like I said, I don't do that, but we're going to. Okay, so let's do the other arm the same way. I just want to see if I come across any problems because of doing that for this particular guy too. And let's go with the arm 2 here, which should be arm right. I don't know why I did arm 2. Probably because I labeled this before I knew what was happening there. And this one's got an L in it, which it should not. So I'm just going to get rid of that. And the upper arm, we'll just rename that too, just like that. And we're going to go with the arm upper. You just scare my cat off my mixer. I got me a water bottle today. I'm not spraying it though onto the mixer, obviously. So arm upper, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to regret layer binding that, but I'm going to anyway. We're just going to layer bind that here. Forearm, I'm going to layer bind that one. Hand. Thing is, I can still use the smart bone, so it's not like it really causes a problem. I would still be doing smart bone, you know, actions either way. So this might actually be a better way of doing things. Okay, so we've got the hands and all of the stuff there. So now I'm going to work my way down. Let's get the tail. So that is just going to be this area here. This one will have to be point bound. I guess, well, at least partially, huh? Yeah, we'll just do it point binding. I could do also flexi binding, but I'm not a fan of flexi binding. I'm going to go ahead and go with that bone. Now, seeing which points go here, that's going to be fun. I guess they kind of will work out the same way, though, won't they? Because these still will be all of these just the same. Oops, what happened there? Oh, still selecting bones. Bone, now points. Come on, Sean, you can do it. Okay. I'm just going to come right up through. Right through here. Bind those to that. Going to select this bone and do the same. This is just going to flex this part around. So like I said, it's a little bit tedious at times, but definitely, in my opinion, the best way to go. I would probably point bind everything if I didn't have lazy moments. Sometimes there are things you don't want to, but it's, in my opinion, rare. So bind points. Oops, that is not what I meant. Bind these points. Oh, dang, come on, lag. Right here. Just those. Always double check, make sure you got the right thing. Let's go ahead to the next bone here. Gonna go ahead and just select the ones we haven't selected. And only up to That was a very New Mexico thing to say for me, by the way. Bind those points to that. You don't have to close the gap, but you have to get kind of close, otherwise it winds up thinking you mean, oh, just select the whole line, which you don't. Alright, and then these guys here. There we go. Gonna go ahead and bind that. Hey! We're minding from now on, Cat. She's like, oh man, that water bottle, I hate it! We don't actually spray her with it, which is hilarious. We just kind of show it to her, which is excellent. Okay, so now this bone is going to go with, let's go with these, these right here, but not that one, because that one's going to be controlled by the other. Whoops, it looks like it missed, doesn't it? So we're just going to go this bit. Let's go ahead and get that one too, and not this one. And boom. Gosh, it keeps missing that. I wonder why. Probably because I only have in this layer maybe just those 4. Okay, well we got those either way. So yeah, it still select that one, so that was weird. It just was not selecting very well. And then we were going to grab the end bone here and grab this. If you guys haven't seen Arcane, check that series out. It's pretty amazing. Animation. It's a 3D animation, but hand painted texture, so it looks like a really, really cool, you know, very in-depth way of doing 2D animation to make it look like it's painted. It's crazy. But beyond that, the story also is amazing. Alright, so we have our bone selected. I'm going to include this one, but not that one, because that's of the upper layer. I'm going to go ahead and grab these, since the rest is going to be bound to that, that other bone. So let me just redo that. So this, but not that one. Come on, I have a little pause that this thing keeps making, and I don't know why. Bind those. It's very frustrating. And there's the cat. She's mad that I'm not letting her do the things she normally does to annoy us. Oh, is that 2 bones? I think that is 2 bones, so I don't want to go that high up. I'm just going to grab these and go ahead and bind those. And then we'll get that last one. I didn't even see this one here. Hope there's enough points. There's only going to be 1 point on that at the moment, so I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and just grab all 3 of these, bind those, and that tail will be done. A little involved, but we're good. Alright, so now we're going to go. Where's that cat? She stopped me on real quick, though, didn't she? funny. So we have this bone. I'm going to say which points go with it. We need to go with the thigh right here. And I'm going to point bind this just because I want to make sure this is all correct. So with that, let's go ahead and I'm going to put everything in here for now except for that end. And we will make that end go with the next bone, so it'll have a bend when this lower one, it'll you know, deform with that and look connected. I hope that connected to that lower. Let's just make sure. Yep. And with that, that should be good. And then let's go ahead with the shin. That bone's already selected, so I'm going to grab its points. That is the shin. That looks like those are all good. I mean, no, actually it is not. That shin should not be that way. That shin bone should have these only. Things have changed since I did this the last time, so I'm going back and kind of retouching. So this thigh bone now will have these top few points, of course, associated with it, as we had already stated. I'm just double checking. And now we'll move down to the foot bone here, and those points there should be associated with that already, which they are. Now we're going to move to the foot. I think I got all of that done already, it looks like. So now let's go on to the thigh left and get it working. Let's just grab that bone. What? Grab these points here. Let's just not get the final, the end ones there. I'm going to say, yeah. Bind that. Grab this bone, and then we could bind these to it, I guess. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Bind those. And then we're going to go to that shin and make sure we select the thigh bone first. And then we can come in here and say, hey, y'all belong to that one. Then we can say, on the shin bone, everything down here, except for the ones up against the feet, yeah, I might as well do it that way, belong to there. Cool. And then the foot bone, take these last bits here so that they stretch and flex with the foot when it moves. It's a genius move on my part, I know. I'm kidding. Okay, foot now. We got the foot bone selected. I am going to probably, yeah, I'd probably do the whole foot. All of these points can be up to here because that's essentially going to be our toe. So like that's fine. We're going to bind those. And then we're going to grab that toe bone and put the remainder on it. Cool. If you guys are watching, let me know and say, hey, anybody. Okay, so now everything is bound. However, when we bend it, it's not going to be completely pretty because we still need to do our smart bone actions and stuff to get everything bending perfectly. But for the most part, let me just go ahead and save so none of that has to be redone. I'm the king of that. I'm just going to test a couple of these bends. Okay, we have not bent the ears yet apparently, so the neck looks good. I have not bound the whiskers, so we'll do those in a sec. And I'm just going to check the limbs. For basic, I mean, these are pretty good. Nothing's wrong there anyway. We'll do some smart bone actions, obviously, to take care of some of these breaks and stuff like that. So that obviously is not great, but that can also be solved with a smart bone action. Any of the breaks, this can go this way. It'll wind up being in the front of the body depending on the layer. And this is good here. Looks okay. Those loops we get when we bend them too far, those will be part of the smart bone fix, including that. This will, I guess that works okay, because once we get his target bones for his feet in, this should move everything. This is going to grab his leg, which we need to fix the heels for, obviously. Make sure the toes pretty much work. It gets really ugly, like I said, until you get your corrective smart bone actions in there. Unless we were to make these all separate pieces, which you can do, obviously, but if you want, smart bones are cool because they do certain things. These are all going to be dynamic bones, so that when the wind blows or he jumps up and down, they wave like they got dynamics on them. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and attach the ears up. I'm going to find, I'm sure this is in the head. We're going to come down here to ear. Let's grab the ear left. It's going to come in here again. And it's not going to let me do my cool little bone trick because these are grouped in a group. I'm going to go ahead and pull them out, but they're going to screw up my positioning, possibly even my masking. We'll see. I could have pulled the entire group out now that I think about it. So let's just do that. I'm going to pull those out and put them behind the head layer. So I'm going to just kind of go boom until they pop over here like that, and then this one's going to come down and do the same pop over and not put it inside of any other layer. So I'm just going to close that up, and now we have these. So they're now they're in the same position, which is great. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I shaved, but man, now I feel weird because I put on weight again, so I'm like, I don't have a neck. Okay, so my ear left, we're going to go ahead and open that up if I can remember what I was doing. So this ear here, we need to just point bind. Sean, don't do it. We're gonna point bind. It's gonna be lazy, but I'm not, because now that I look at it, I can't. And I am going to, this is just for the ear, the lower ear portion. That is going to pretty much be everything. Now that I am noticing, that's going to be everything, which doesn't hurt my feelings one bit. And the ear tip, this will be broken up over 3 bones because we want the 2 ends of them, or at least the last end, definitely, dynamic. So we're going to go like so. I am going to kind of pull this all around here, bind those, grab this dude, get these. There's not a lot. I should have probably put more points. It's alright. I'm the king of too many points, so here this time I didn't do it though. And then we're going to have to grab the last one and get that. My little lag from hell. Okay, and bind those. Now the other ear, it's going to be the straight old ear, and we're going to grab this bone here. He's more elaborate than I planned him to be. He was supposed to be a super simple character. He's simple. He's just not, he's not a ball with a face, right? So let's go to this one now. This is just going to move on to the ear tip stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and not select anything there. This one here will get all of this, and I suppose that, I guess, yeah. Right. That, no, let's do, I don't have enough points. I'm going to add a couple right in here. Just something Like that should be fine, I guess. That's going to get a little weird here probably. I'm going to stick some in anyway. I mean, I can smart bone fix all that, but, you know, the less you have to do, right? So with that one selected, I'm just going to grab these guys, bind, come on, grab these, and this chunk. I kind of like to keep, you know, if I can do four points per bone at least, then great, because it's going to move more like as expected. So there we go, that bone, and then those points. Bind. Okay. I believe that all those are at least bound. So I'm going to check everything over real quick and then start doing some smart bone actions and some face controls, eye controls and stuff. So let me just check that the head moves the ears. Yep. I still have not done the bones for the whiskers yet, but I will in a sec. This goes fine. This is going to look ugly pretty much until it doesn't, but it does work. Like I said, smart bone will take care of that gap and weirdness, but they do work fine. And so whiskers will be, oh, they should be easy. Where is the head layer? Muzzle, whiskers left. This should work, but it might not, because it might want this to be a separate layer. Looks like it. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull the whiskers, both layers, out of the head for now, and then I will make those separates probably on the top, because it looks like they might need to be done that way. And so I'm going to grab these little dudes. They really should probably be in their own layers, but you know, whatever. And they probably absolutely do not have enough points for the bones. So cool. Let's just grab this one and these points for whiskers left. I can't even see the points right now. I'm so blind right now. And do that. Grab at least two. And tedious, man, tedious. So what have you been working on? I saw some of your stuff. I jumped in. Thank you for the compliment, or the, you know, the shout out for that tip of the blob brush. I actually got that from an Illustrator tutorial, and I'm trying to remember the woman's name. She's an amazing illustrator and does a lot of stuff in Illustrator. These really kind of sweet characters and stuff. She's great, and I can't remember her name, but I should really take more effort to do that, probably, to remember people's names so I can give those shout outs as well. Great stuff. I'll have to tell you though, she's amazing. So bind those guys. Let's move on. Less talk, more point binding. And we'll do on down the road, but see, I got these extras I don't want. That's from the other whisker. Okay, good. I sometimes forget to bind the points, push the button. Grab that. I hope I'm not the only one. Did I even get one here? I don't think there isn't even. Okay, there's one. At least it's doing something. And then this guy. Most of the time I do have a lot of extra points, but I just wanted to be, you know, kind of easy on it for the... that one doesn't have any bones at all in it. I just noticed. Great, John. Good one. Good job. Yeah, I don't think there's no bones in that one. At least there is in this one, though. So we're going to go ahead and you notice I did not name these particular bones. Bad person. And I'm going to go ahead and move on. Yeah, your game's looking really good, by the way. I have a game that I'm working on. I think I briefly mentioned it to you, and I finally got my 4 direction animations done, and I started with a power up, a little pickup, and yeah, I need to get back to it. What we were talking about before definitely will help. In the visual code, it's different, but I think I know exactly from the way you explain it to me how to handle that that scenario, because you told me about the end step, and I was like, oh, I didn't even, and I know I've seen it before. I didn't even think. I was trying to do everything inside the character object, and then I was trying to do things within the power up object, and I forgot, you can do step for one, but then I was like, wait, in step, that makes sense, because I got a step working, because I knew about that from earlier for other things, and all of a sudden, I was like, I'm tired. I'm gonna have to come back to it because it's too much at once right now. I am a handicap. I'm not, but you know what I mean. I'm going to go try and get some benefits, though, or something like that. Some not have to work benefits is what I'm talking about. Before they're all ceased, Jokes. No, I'd rather make my own money any day. That's all I'm interested in. Well, not all, but you know what I mean. Any money-wise. Okay, so anyway, before I talk myself into a weird place, whiskers right. Let's just grab these dudes real quick and get those knocked out. That lag is killing me. Still don't know what's doing it. I'm thinking it's when I do a live stream. Thank you. So that is probably it, because it doesn't really happen otherwise. Not that I can remember. Of course, most of the time I'm in Moho, I'm doing a live stream, so, that may or may not be the problem after all. Bind those. At least I'm talking. At least I'm working while I'm talking this time. Let's get these dudes. Yeah, I really want to do like a full series of something. I've got a few things that I could just, push all the way through. I don't know if you'd be interested, if you're watching, Greg, in something like that. I also owe you some music still. And so there's a few things. This particular character here is from, one of those. So I don't think there was any points on that. Whatever. Okay, cool. So let's move on. Yeah, this particular thing with this rabbit in it is actually a bunch of kids that ride motorcycles and run around. There's a bully. He's this alligator. And you've seen some of his artwork. And, yeah, they run around doing neighborhood kids stuff. The bicycle gang thing, getting in trouble. South Park, but no dirty stuff. And, because I just wanted to make it a little more family friendly, because I have a tendency to kind of go outside those lines, but I wanted to see, once pretty much if I could do that, because it is, at the end of the day, more magical, when I'm not resorting to toilet humor and adult humor all the time to be funny. So why not, But I've got that, a few other things. I mean, I've got this medieval cartoon series I'd really like to do. I've been doing some characters for it, too. I've got some CGI, 3D stuff, same way. Obviously, the game stuff. I have a VR project I'd like to work on at some point that I did some basics with. And, you get to a point where you feel overwhelmed with something, learning, and you're like, I'm going to put this down for a minute and go back to doing some 2D animation, or go over and build some 3D characters or something, and then I forget sometimes that I was working on this or that project, and need to go back and remind myself what I'm doing. Okay, so I am seeing already that this ear either needs to stay out or it needs to flop in front of the face, and that would just be a matter of taking the ear, and I'm going to have to separate the tip from the regular ear and put that in front of the head, or at least just, heck, on top of everything. Why not? Right there. And then, of course, we were going to have to recenter, move it around, get it back in position here. At least the pivot is correct. So I can just stick this there now. And now it will flap in front of the face. The other one's going to have to do the same thing. So this ear tip will move up in front of everything too. And that one seems to have held its position. Okay. I probably moved the other one with points or something somehow at some point. That's what I do. Okay, so as far as I know, let's move a few whiskers just to see if they do, in fact, at least bend. Then they do. Cool. They'll curl right up and everything. We're going to make some actions for that so I don't have to do these manually. The one without bones, I'll probably have to go back and add some bones. Oh, look at that one's missing a connection there. So I'm going to grab this bone and go back with our point binding. And doesn't seem to be a point. Oh, I got to click on the layer, don't we? The whiskers right. There we go. We missed that point right there. Cool. Yeah, so I'll make some cool smart bone actions to control all this in one go. It'll go along with an expression, like if he smiles, we're going to need to, make the whiskers curl up too, or whatever, And that's all looking great. I think pretty happy with those. And of course, these will be made maybe dynamic, at least the end pieces or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave them as expressions, but dynamics would be cool. They don't really need it, though, in a kid's cartoon, right? Okay, so with that, the tailbones can be made dynamic and stuff. I don't think any of the ears, just the tailbones, because the ears, if I wanted to raise the ears up, they can't be dynamic unless I do just the end bones or something like that to have them flop, which I think I will do that at least. But let's just get this mainly set up to start with. I'm going to have to reposition my bones here. Because of that move that I did. They will still have the same bindings, but we do have to readjust because of that. Okay, I'm going to save him real quick. And yeah, so he's completely skeletonized other than the target bones for his feet. If you don't know how to do that, I'll show you. I'm just going to select no bones at all, and then we're going to go up and add a bone. And I'm just going to go ahead and it doesn't matter what direction and stuff you do these in. Which way do I want to go? And some people just use the whatever, but or they put a shape too, But I'm going to just pull this out from the ankle. That's how I kind of typically do it, and I'm going to call this one target R. Probably misspelled that, didn't I? I sure did. And then I'm going to do another one after making sure no bones are selected. I'm going to do another one. I'm just going to go inward also. Why not? Whoops, that was not right. Inward from here. They don't even have to touch, but I'm going to make them touch because it's going to be weird if we don't. And that one's going to be called target L. And what you want to target is the shin bones. So we're going to go select our shin bone, go into bone constraints, and click on target, and we're going to say target R. Done. Close. This one now is going to be that shin bone. We're going to come into our bone constraints, target. Well, that's going to be target L. I did that wrong, didn't I? Let's just make sure this one's target R. I'm going to double check. I think I got it right. Yeah, it's right. Never mind. Cool. Okay, so with that, his leg here, I can already tell you, is going to bend backwards the wrong way, and so is that one just because of the shape. We can put bend limits on there if we want to, but you can see right here they're going to bend definitely the wrong way. What's going on here? Oh, gotta do the manipulate. Also, you don't want any power on these target bones either. Very bad if that's there. So I'm gonna manipulate my little center, and you can see it works, but they are going the wrong way. We have to set up angle constraints, which are simple to do too. The smart bones, obviously, and then we want to make these feet, I believe that's where I need to do it, as independent angles so that they can be moved. It's either the feet or the toes. So let me just come in here and select the, let's select the foot bone first and just find out. If it doesn't work, then I can do the toe also. But I think the feet will be fine. We just come in here and go independent angle. Close. I'm going to just double check this one and make sure it works. And so that moves. And that way we can just take the foot later, move this. We move this. You can then, you're supposed to be able to do what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to have to check in on that because that independent angle should allow me to do what I need. Let me go back in here into that bone. Just check what this is. Independent angle. Let me turn that off. That obviously isn't working. I'm going to select the target bone now because I could be wrong about which one needs to be moved. And I'm going to lift the leg, not in the pee-pee on the ground way, like this, and then we should, yeah, now that you put independent angle on the target bone, we can move this and it will stay in position and anywhere you put it. So hope that clears that up for you guys. Sometimes, like I said, I always forget which bone to put it on. It's all on the target bone. The shin bone gets targeted to the target bone. The target bone gets the independent angle. So let's just select the other one, do the same thing for it. Pow, done. So now, other than the smart bone actions and stuff, this guy is pretty much ready for hands, eye rig, and everything else. Cool. Well, I've been going for now for about 48 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And hopefully this was cool for you guys and you learned something, or at least enjoyed hanging out with me. And I will talk to you all soon. Have a good one. More tutorials, actual